Good evening, and welcome to tonight's briefing of the Revolution of Reason. I'm Robert L. Blackburn, and I'm an Surgeon General in the Revolution. If you want to learn more about the Revolution of Reason, go to revolutionofreason.com. On several previous videos, I've talked about the mind of man being tricked or deceived when it entered fixed permanent societies. Tonight I just wanted to comment briefly on what do I mean by tricked or deceived. What I mean is, at one time when man was strictly a hunter and gatherer and moving around, I suppose, there would have been a little time to use anything that was not true. If it proved to be untrue real quick, he would change to something else and assume that thing is not true, so I can't go there anymore. Well, when we got in society, we gained the ability to trick and deceive, those are the words, the human mind into believing things were true that may or may not be true. The same thing they do, they deceive the human mind. The mind deceives itself into believing things that are not true that may or may not be not true or untrue. This is the process of belief, and it's explained in theology, and the leap of faith, and this and that, and that's what they have little phrases for. But nonetheless, it's things the mind would not have automatically and normally taken upon itself necessarily. Perhaps some of them, the belief in the value of life. Well, I've talked about our survival program, and that survival program is going to think very highly of the value of life. That's all it's concerned with, basically. Its own life, and then by extension to other lives. It has no reason to draw any line in there. But you don't have to believe in the value of life. Our natural mind will take care of that for us. But be it as it may, you see, truth doesn't need to have any additional coercion or carrots or sticks or tricks. You just put the truth before reason, and reason will take care of it from there. You put truth before an open mind, and your work is done. Now, you might need some tricks and deception to get the truth there. Now that's different. But when the mind sees the truth, then your work's done. I just wanted to mention briefly. I look over because that's where the clock is, and I know how much time I have left. And I thought, well, I talk about the mind does these things and tricks itself and tricks others. What in the world am I talking about? Well, let's talk about, I call in my Mind Insurgent Handbook, I put in there under enemy tactics some 65 different enemy tactics used to trick or help confuse and subvert the human mind, normally for the sake of a belief or a value that somebody wants in place. The first under these enemy tactics, I list significant others. Now, that primarily would be one's parents or primary caregiver, whomever handles that baby from the beginning and is responsible for that baby. Well, that baby is totally dependent on the person or persons for their very life from the get-go. Eventually, it will be dependent on the parents to teach it how to not get hurt on its own. It's their responsibility to protect it from getting hurt when it has no ability at all, and then teach it how. It's their responsibility to protect itself. Well, if it's going to be told to look left and right before crossing the street, and that puts the value of life at stake when it does that. I say it because I hate the he and she mess with pronouns in the English language, and I hate calling a child it. You maybe use all three of them. But the same child that looks both ways is then taught to go into some more, I don't know how to say it, but less concrete type of behaviors. For instance, that the religion. Now, the child, well, it's going to follow the parents. It's already been taught that everything depends on what the parents tell it. The parents tell it what they want to about their particular religion. I'm not talking about any one religion, but whatever religion they have, and it's a very good chance that that's going to be extremely influential on a totally dependent child. That's all I'm saying. There are other significant others, of course. There's the brothers, sisters, friends, coaches, teachers, preachers, Sunday school teachers, any slew of people that also act as significant others. And as long as they are imparting the same beliefs on the child, it's going to affect it greatly, and they will accept what they're taught in this manner. Another one is supernatural retribution. That's labeled in the Mind and Surgeon Handbook. Both of these are found in there under enemy tactics. There's some 65 enemy tactics listed. Supernatural retribution, simple. You don't believe this, you're going to burn eternally in the fires of hell. Now, that doesn't affect necessarily the survival program so much in the human mind. It appeals, or it gets the attention of the mind's pain avoidance program. The child has already been burned on something, a stove, a hot pan or something, and then you tell that child that it's going to have to endure something worse than that for forever and ever. Well, that's pretty persuasive. See, and the truth doesn't need these kind of persuasions. It just needs to be seen. I could go on. There are others that I don't think I really have time. But I'll tell you, these are all. Here we go. Large numbers of others. Supernatural. I got that. Shoot your best shot. You can't beat the system. You can't change the system. Well, you can't change the world. Yeah, they're all in there. But these are all on the website, revolutionaryreason.com, in the handbook, and it has an index. So that is actually, I mean, it's not real sophisticated, but it's linked. So if you pick out one of these chapters I mentioned and you want to see it, you just click on it and you go look at it real quick. You don't have to go through the whole thing. But that's all. I just wanted to mention a little bit about the revolution side of this, and what am I talking about when I talk about the mind being tricked. And basically that's it. But it's all in the Mind and Surgeon Handbook, official field manual for the Revolution of Reason, revolutionaryreason.com. Sorry I didn't have Buffy tonight. What can I say?